Hello there, BookTube. My name is Nathan, and I'm the Rambling Reviewer. I call myself that because I tend to ramble a lot. And last night I made this video, and it was too rambling. I went on for 40 minutes. This is my attempt to shorten that. Yesterday, before I made the video, I was out on some errands, and I went to, during those errands, a library book sale, and I went to an ongoing library book sale, I should say, and I went to a book sale, an annual book sale, hosted by a Unitarian Universalist church. Now, I've been to a Unitarian Universalist church before. I am not a member. However, I am extremely interested in their social and political interests, and I respect their group a lot. So when it came to spending money there, I felt no qualms. And I bought a lot of stuff. And I thought I'd just go through everything that I got. I'll go to the library first because they're right here. I actually have them all around me right now. In total, I bought 44 books yesterday, for about $32. Okay. These are the things I spent the most on. Got these from the library. My local library actually has a pretty good selection, even though it is a small library, and in a small town. And I suspect that part of this might be that there are not as many scalpers who pick out stuff, so I find some relatively interesting stuff there. And yesterday I found a lot of classic science fiction. And I found other classic science fiction in the past. I found some analog magazines, some of which I bought. I found some hardcover copies of Clifford D. Semick books that I did not buy because they were very expensive at the time, and because I just didn't have the money, basically. And I found a Robert Silverberg book. I found a Poul Anderson book. Yesterday I found a Stephen Baxter book, Origin, part of the Manifold trilogy. This was recommended in the Voxer group for New Worlds November by Matt Defoe, so very excited for this. Now I'm just going to figure out where I'm going to be putting the book when I finish talking about them. And the other three things I got were all parts of the Riverworld series by Philip Jose Farmer. Now, the interesting thing is I actually found these not in the science fiction section, but in the local interests section, because Philip Jose Farmer died in Peoria, Illinois, and I live extremely close to Peoria, Illinois, same county, so. And there was Gods of Riverworld, the Miraculous Steamboat, and the Riverboat, and the Magic Labyrinth. So I just need Dark Design and whatever the first one's name is, which it's slipping my mind. The first book in the series, which I just checked out actually recently. So, well, I put in for it to be checked out yesterday. I put a hold on it yesterday so that I can get that. Now at the big book sale, I got a lot of stuff, and one of the first things I found when I got in there was this big box of Ellis Peter mysteries. So Ellis Peters wrote a series of medieval mysteries set in the 12th century, following a character called the brother Cadfael. He is a monk in a monastery, and he solves mysteries. Must have bit that one out because that one actually was one that I already owned. And I had checked out of these all, and I looked through them, and I thought that I had every one but one, but then I found the last one in the main box, because this was sitting inside of a bigger box that I used. Well, actually, it was on top of the bigger box, but when I first got there, I grabbed this box, and then just kind of stacked these two stacks on top of this box. And then I ended up, once I bought the books, they gave me a bigger box to put everything in. Now, I've not read the Alice Peters stuff, but I've heard a lot of great things about them, so I'm very excited to have them. And I don't think I'm going to go through these one by one, because that would take too long. But yes, I have a complete collection now, and I do want to show a couple of them, just to show off the covers, because I just love these, like, monastic, window covers. Very, very cool. Here's another one. That's actually the same one, sorry. I meant to grab the one that was right beside it. But yeah, I've organized them now. They're mostly in order. I say mostly because Rose Rent, which was the one I found in the box, the bigger box, isn't in its proper spot, and neither is St. Peter's Fair, because I pulled one of them out while I was showing them yesterday to make it easier to put them back in. So I need to figure out where those go in the series, and I can have the entire thing in the box in the order they were released. Now, I only found one classic SF book yesterday at the big book sale at the church. I was kind of hoping for more because of New Wolf November, but I did find an old mass market paperback copy of Stranger in a Strange Land. Not a very good copy, but their paperbacks were only 50 cents, so I bought it. The hardcovers were $1, by the way. I found Mozart by Wolfgang Hildesheimer, a biography on Mozart. Biography that I've not heard anything about, but I grabbed. I got On Photography by Susan Sontag. Susan Sontag was, of course, a very famous intellectual in the 60s and 70s. I'm trying to go through these faster than yesterday. Minimal commentary. I got Sapiens by Yuval Noah Harari, A Brief History of Humankind. I have read this before, had my problems with it. I'd imagine that people who have read more history probably have some problems with it too. I think it sacrifices a lot to grand sweeping themes. But at the same time, this is also a very short work of history, so, and that tries to go from the beginning of humanity to the modern day. So necessarily there will be a lot left out, but I still bought it. I bought a Penguin Classic of the Song of Roland. I bought 5 P.G. Wodehouse books. This pretty nice hardcover, although I don't like that the front. I just blew some dust off that with my own breath. It's the same as the back. That bothers me. I got an Anne Rice novel, Memnoch the Devil. part of her Vampire Chronicles series. I read my first Vampire Chronicles recently, Vampire Lestat. Uh, Read it because Steve Donahue and Matthew at Maybe Book Club were reading it for their ongoing monthly book club, and I enjoyed it. So I got the other one. I got Closed Chambers, The Rise, Fall, and Future of the Modern Supreme Court. And this, I read the back, follows a clerk, yeah, to Justice Harry Blackburn, and so looks at a lot of different specific cases that went through the court and like the individual judges' opinions on it and the history behind all that, which is absolutely fascinating. Because I want to read more politics, and books that are topical to modern issues. So, stuff like Roe v. Wade being repealed makes this very topical. I bought The Rise of the Greeks by Michael Grant. I don't know anything about this, but happy to have it. Oh, and I keep forgetting to pull it down, but right there, I put one of the books in the, up on top. So I was going to put them away, and then I decided to do the video, and then I forgot to pull it back down. I keep forgetting to pull it back down for the video, because this is the second time I forgot it. But up there, we have A Distant Mirror by Barbara W. Tuchman, and it is her history of the 14th century, the political and historical and societal changes that occurred in the 14th century. 15th century, sorry. Was it 14th century? Yeah, I can't remember if it's the 14th century or the 1400s. I think it's the 14th century, though, so... My apologies if I'm wrong about that. I got, Omnivore's Delight, which looks into, I guess the history of different meal formats. The chapter headings are about the industrial kind of agriculture, pastoral agriculture, and then the forest, so hunting and gathering. So, I am a vegan, so I'm always interested in books that have to do with different aspects of eating, agriculture, animal use, plant use, whatever. Because it could supplement my own understanding of certain issues surrounding veganism. It might challenge my understanding and make me have to deal with those conflicts, resolve them, or it might give me more information that allows me to build upon that. So, I'm very excited to read it. I got Empire of the Sun by J.G. Ballard. I've not read any J.G. Ballard, but in the Blockster group for New Worlds in November, he's been talked about a few times because of his short science fiction stories. And so I bought this one, which is about a young boy growing up in, I think it's Shanghai, and who, I guess, watches, what happens, during World War II with the Japanese and the concentration camps for Japanese, the bombing, Nagasaki, all that sort of stuff. I got Black Boy by Richard Wright, and interesting enough, there's some notes in there. So that'll be interesting to read when I read it. A Boy's Life by Robert McCammon. I also recently bought Wolf's Hour, so this is 2 books by him that I own. I bought another biography, Tolstoy, by Henry Troyat. I, again, know nothing about this book. But again, excited to have it. I bought The Free Jewels, an introduction to Buddhism by Sangharak Shita? Presumably something like that. I'm fascinated by Buddhism. As an atheist, it's one of the religious systems that I'm most curious about. And that I have most had the most interest in learning more about and potentially implementing into my own life. So, I think I've heard about this before, but finding it there for $1, perfect. I bought The Norton Book of Light Verse, edited by Russell Baker. And I guess that's the devil himself right there, in a very contemplative moment. Though it's not really contemplative, he seems more cheery. I didn't really notice a smile at first. I bought this book of the primary source material from Owen Chase and Thomas Nickerson. This is a Penguin classic. These were 2 men on board the whaling ship Essex when it was destroyed by a whale, and that destruction was the inspiration for my favorite book, Moby Dick, which I like because of its strangeness and its humor and its weird philosophical ramblings. So, very excited to have this. I bought Team of Rivals, a book that looks into the cabinet of President Abraham Lincoln. The winner. This won the Pulitzer Prize, so very, very excited to have that. And finally, I bought The Essential Rumi, his collection of poetry. And not Tuesday, or the Thursday. I can't remember if it was Tuesday or Thursday we did poetry. But I guess I'll end with a little bit of poetry. Let me see if I can find one that I want to read. Do this one. Spring is Christ. Everyone has eaten and fallen asleep. The house is empty. We walk out of that garden to let the apple meet the peach, to carry messages between rose and jasmine. Spring is Christ, raising martyred plants from their shrouds. Their mouths is open in gratitude, wanting to be kissed. The glow of the rose and the tulip means a lamp is inside. A leaf trembles, I tremble, in the wind beauty like silk from Turkestan. The censer fans into flame. The wind is the Holy Spirit. The trees are merry. Watch how husband and wife play subtle games with their hands. Cloudy pearls from Aden are thrown across the lovers, as in the marriage custom. The scent of Joseph's shirt comes to Jacob. A red carnelian of Yemeni laughter is heard by Muhammad in Mecca. We talk about this and that. There's no rest, except on these branching moments. That is quite lovely, so I will definitely look forward to reading some more of the Essential Roomie. But that completes my haul video. And in half the time that I completed the first haul video. So excellent. I hope you're all having a great day, BookTube, and I will see you again shortly. Bye.